text me and I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. You know. 205-964-5243. You know.
Show number 197, Wholesaling Real Estate with the Flip Man. Cash or credit doesn't matter. We're here to talk about real estate investing with a strong emphasis on, again, wholesaling, where your cash or credit does not matter. You can actually get into this thing called real estate, and you can be DEAD broke. So we're here to answer your questions, try to provide some information to help you get along in this biz and make some money. That's the name of the game. So before we get started, make sure, if you can, please like this, share it with someone that you think may be interested in changing their financial situation and changing it quickly. My name is Ty, aka the Flip Man, is how I try to present myself. So we're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, well, Periscope, Twitch, something else. Normally it's a three deep here, but Renika is not here today. Miss Williams is not here. But we got Adria, and we have the lovely Adria, and we have the lovely
Mini Adria,
Nikki. So she may actually ask a question or two. What's she, 11, 12? What's she? 11, okay. 11. Okay, she's 11.
Mm-hmm. Girl, you ain't got no personal business. Welcome, y'all. Thank you for joining us this Thursday. We're mid-September. This is the place, as Ty mentioned, that you ask your questions regarding wholesaling real estate with little to no cash or credit, and your questions will be answered. I want you guys to, as Ty mentioned as well, like, click, subscribe. Make sure you go ahead and tag a friend, tell them they have plenty enough time to come join us. And you, yes, you, if you go ahead and text the word Gator, Gator, to the number behind Ty or on your screen, 205-964-5243. I will send you the link for you to join us, and you can ask your question live yourself. So yes, you can join us live, be on the screen, ask your questions. In fact, it puts you at the front of the line, and you can ask as many questions as you want, because hey, you're there at that moment. So if you want to join us, make sure you're doing that. I think without that, well, I'm going through saying some hellos to some people. So we have Alyssa, short bus rider. You a short bus rider? I'm sorry. Sandra, Johnny, Mariana, Kanita, Kier, Diggy, Deontay, and Charlie. Thank you for joining us. And I see you guys on TikTok and Instagram with Nikki, Miosha, Shirok, Arguz, Lewis, Nicole Bies, and Nicole Angelica. Got two of those there. Eric, I see you, Valesco Girl, and the rest of you. Okay, so we're just going to jump right into these questions. You got anything else, Ty, before we start?
Let's get it.
Let's get it. I want to make some money too, short bus rider. Okay, so Sandra Carazales, we're going to say that, says, hi, Ty, thanks for all you do. I haven't got a deal yet, but I'm working on it, putting out bandit signs and generating leads. So, hey, that's a good start. Thank you for telling us that. Keep up the good work. Let's see here. Charlie says that they've been listening and watching your videos, Ty, and they're excited to get started. Diggy Dang says that he has found some commercial land and will send it over as soon as possible, as soon as he calls them up. So thank you. Let's see here. Marlon V says, how much would it cost to do a basement in a 1,500 square foot house that is currently gutted? Why are we just doing the basement? So
I'm not a contractor, but normally what I would do is the basement is 1,500 square feet or the entire house?
1,500 square in a 1,500 square foot house is what 40.
Well, it's just totally gutted. Normally, you just $40 a square foot for something that's not livable. So what is that? 60 grand?
Oh goodness, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Because you're saying just the basement. That has to be for the entire house.
That's our entire house. Huh?
Yeah, the entire house. Okay, so let's see here. Hey, Eric, I see you. Thank you for joining us, VB. Facebook user said, I've had my first deal. It was a learning curve, but I did make I made so many mistakes, but I'm pushing forward. So that's good. Congratulations on that. Okay, guys, I need you guys to go ahead and post those questions in the chat so I'll have something to read. Keystone Property Solutions wants to know, how can I find more cash buyers for houses that need a full gut?
It still just boils down to numbers. You know, you have to get it cheap enough to make it attractive to cash buyers. ARV, minus repairs, and whatever you're trying to make. If you go to, if you text these two letter DC, which means deal calculator, you can access my free deal calculator. Just text this number here, text the letters DC, and you should always use that calculator until you're comfortable with knowing what a deal is or not, so you don't waste time on stuff that has no chance of being a deal. So text the letters DC to the 205-964-5243.
All right, there you have it, guys. Let's see here, jumping right into this question. It's from, I think, Instagram. And Nika_Batson wants to know, do you only go live on Thursdays and not during the day anymore? Do you still do the comp thing during the day?
The Comps 101 is on Sundays, normally with Jamil and myself from Astro Flippinar and Keegley. But during the day, we were just discussing that today to do more of that. But, you know, be sort of really busy, and it takes some time to put that together or whatever. So we're going to try to do at least one more day during the dailies or whatever. People have been asking, so we're going to try to fit it in.
Okay. I'm sticking with Instagram. Skate God wants to know, if wholesaling virtually, what's the best way to show my deal to cash buyers so they can see it in person, even though I'm not in the state I'm wholesaling in?
Well, you're going to need someone there to do some of that grunt work that's there on the ground, another wholesaler, a friend, a family member, maybe even a real estate agent. Now, ideally, to try to cut down some of the foot traffic, you can get someone to video the property and photos, upload that video to YouTube. Now you can just share that link easily through text or email.
Okay, thank you. I am Gina Love wants to know, what about tax lien homes? Do you purchase those?
Really not my thing, and each state is different on the laws as far as actually gaining ownership. You know, it just depends on the process to gain out. And what's your end game? If you're trying to purchase it, quote unquote, get some form of ownership or control, to do what with it? So it just depends on what your end game is. Got a deal that just blew up in our face because it was a tax deed. You know, it should be one of the first questions that you ask: do you have a warranty deed or a tax deed?
All right. Michael Patterson, kudos to you. Says, hey, Flip Man, I wholesaled my first property today. Thank you for your wisdom and knowledge. Would love to know what that check looked like, Michael.
If you care to share.
If you care to share. You don't share, we don't care, but we'd love if you care to share. See what I did there? It was like rhyming. Yeah, I'm rapping.
Lyricist.
Yeah, that's me. Let's see here. Willis Major, who's from Rochester, New York, says, my answer today is my question, whichever one it is what is a good amount of bandit signs to put out each week to be consistent? I purchased 200 bandit signs and just want to know a good amount. So if I have 200, how many am I putting out a week?
A minimum, at least 50, you know, but you don't want to go crazy with that, especially when it's your first time. You want to do a lot of testing. You You probably want to target, I recommend you target areas where signs already exist and seem to be staying up. You want to take advantage of that, of other people's success or whatever. Now, ideally, we would love to be in areas where no one is there but our signs, but in a lot of cases, it doesn't work that way. Now, you can test a few, 5 or so, see how long they stay up, 3 or 4 days. If they stay up a week, put out more. But 50 is ideal with that small. That's a good starting number, but 50 a week once you build up to, let me say, build up to 50 a week or whatever. So we got to only have 200.
Okay, so this is from Charles Lee. He says, "Hi, Flipman. I found a seller whose property has a mortgage. She bought the property for $190K and still owes $100. Property doesn't need any repairs, just some paint. Is that a deal? And how do I go about putting this under contract?"
Well, we don't know that it's a deal or not unless we know what the ARV is. If you're not sure on how to figure out the ARV, which that's short for after repair value. In other words, what will the house appraise for in excellent condition? So what you'll do if you're not sure about the ARV, text those 3 letters to the number 205-964-5243. And then once you get the ARV, now you can use my deal calculator. Just text DC for the same number. All freebies.
All freebies.
Well, yeah, freebies. Free information, let me say that.
Sorry, I got stuck there. There you go. And the wrong thing. So let's take that down.
I got one for ARV. It should be one up in there, a banner in there for ARV.
I'll find it. Okay, so let's see here. This is from Joshua Brooks. Hi, Joshua, and thank you for joining us. The question is, how do you prevent a cash buyer from stealing your deal and cutting you out of the picture when you tell them about the property?
You should have it under contract. That's the purpose of one of the purposes of your contract is to protect your interest within the deal. If you want a copy of the same contract that I've been using since 2003, I've been giving it away since 2008 for free, and it's still free. Just text the word contract to this number. You'll receive to the number. Let me pull it up, give you the two. But and it'll explain, number one, how to access it for free as much as you want, how to also fill it out for motivated sellers and cash buyers, and also how to get it signed electronically with clicks.
All right, and this is from TikTok, Sparky 2091. Does the title company have to be in the same city or state as the property?
Technically, it doesn't have to be, but normally they're going to work with a title company unless they're a national deal. You got some regional. So technically, no. Let me just say that, no.
Okay. Michael did come back and share with us how much that check he got today was for. 5 big ones. 5 big ones.
50 $100 bills. What does that equal?
You know what? If I got to whisper an answer to you, it's pointless. They can hear me. Yep, she's not good at math. Huh. So there we go. $5,000. Way to go, Michael. Hope that's not your first. Not your last check. There will be many more to come. Let's see here. That's good, Eric. So when we're talking about where you're placing the bandit signs, Eric mentioned, I'm thinking about putting my signs near public storage places. What do you think?
That's a pretty good location, I would assume. If it has good visibility, it's just one of many places to place signs. One of many. Mm-hmm. If you want an idea of where to place signs, you can YouTube search Flipman bandit signs, and Flipman bandit sign ride along. That video will actually give you a good demonstration.
All right. Eric just gave Another really good idea for your cue cards. And I didn't even think about it, Eric. And I'm normally the one that thinks of
Put the
everything.
phone number on the bottom.
Yeah, put the phone number on the back.
Oh, well, I just thought about it when I was doing it. Good idea, but
Yeah, he says, have you ever thought of putting your number on the back of the cue cards? This way you just flip it over. So on the back of every one of those, put the number.
well, why not just put it right here?
Because now you're taking away from the size of that. Do you want that to be as big as possible?
No,
Probably.
it'll still be big, because this can only be so big, because it's going straight across. It can, so it would.
Yeah, we'll put it on the bottom of it. That works. All of that.
So now we got to redo the cards.
Yeah, we've been saying that for a minute, though.
So we need a donation.
Oh my gosh! Now pass around the plate. Now I passed around the plate.
Put the cash app up. We need donations to get new cue cards.
Okay, there we have it. Let's see here. Let's see. Someone said I missed a question. So, Deontay, I closed my first 2 deals last month, and this month is not looking too good. I need some help. So, repeat. What did you do last month that worked out for you?
You need to compound. You should have some more money, more money to throw more fire on your marketing efforts.
Okay. So Demo Falcone was what we're going to say, wants to know, how can I find motivated sellers?
Wow, a number of ways. That's the name of the game. That's what most of my videos talk about. A good number of them, anyways, talk about generating leads. That's the business that we're in. We're lead generators. We're marketers, right? Trying to find real estate deals. If you can consistently find great real estate deals, you never have to be broke. But to answer your question, that's why I talk about you can use text messaging. There's a proper way of doing that. So you want to learn how to do it the right way, just simply text the word text to the number, the 205-964-5243. Bandit signs. Don't know what those are. Some people might be first timers here. We ain't got a number of props around here. They call these bandit signs. These are the signs these are mini billboards. You're taking advantage of tons of eyeballs on the street. Cold calling, voice broadcasts or robocalls. What am I missing? Facebook ads, Google ads. You could wholesale selling other wholesalers' property. Just build your cash buyers list first. You're not sure how to build a cash buyers list? Text the word cash to the number, to the 205-964-5243.
All right, there you have it, guys. A lot of numbers and letters to text. Here one more.
And you need to manage all of those leads. So you can have leads, you want to see what's working, what's not working. So if it's working, you could do more of it. Text the letters CRM, Customer Relation Management System. It helps you manage your leads, creates follow-up. You can communicate with sellers and cash buyers through the system and a whole lot more.
All right, guys, and listen. Linda's listen. Okay. If you text the word Gator, Gator, like alligator, but just Gator, to the number 205-964-5243, the number that, he just had on the screen a bunch of times, you can join us live and ask your questions yourself. Like, come on, it gets you bumped to the very front of the line. You immediately get to join us as long as I see that you added your picture and not just your profile picture, and then you can come on with us. So get the texting Gator to that number, y'all. Kier John says, how can I find title companies? I just ran into law offices and other real estate companies. I am so lost.
How can you find title companies?
Yeah.
Well, her name is Kier John.
Kier John?
Kier John?
Yeah, we're going to go with Kier.
Well, what I recommend that you do, Kier, is don't even worry about that part of it unless
you have a deal.
You have a deal. You have an actual seller in the contract. You have a cash buyer in the contract. And the reason you don't worry about it is that you could do all of this trying to research and find a title company or closing attorney. You have a deal in place, and guess what? Your cash buyer didn't want to use them. And normally, number one, they're bringing all the money to the table to close it, right? I mean, at least buy it. And a lot of times they're paying all the closing costs. So the one with the gold normally does what? Makes the decisions.
Has all the glory.
Gold, G-O-L-D.
Yeah, the one with the gold has the glory.
Well, the decision maker.
Yeah, that's it too.
Yeah, so don't even worry about that part there, Karen. That can be discouraging because when you call those places, you don't know who you have on the phone. They may not have ever, they may do it, and the person you're talking about don't know they do it. Just don't even worry about that part of it. That's the I don't like to use the word easy explaining none of this, but if such thing as an easy part of it is getting your deal closed once you have a seller and buyer on the contract. So don't even worry about that part of it.
All right.
Like for real. Don't even worry about that part of it.
For real.
FR.
For real. Chopper boy. She does look good. You're right. All right. So let's see here. Linux wants to know, have you ever wholesaled a property in Butler, Georgia?
I don't even know where that is. So I'm gonna say no. Is that outside of Atlanta somewhere, or Columbus, or Savannah, or where? But no.
Okay.
No.
But I will say this: it can be done in Georgia.
Of course.
Linux, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Okay. So Harley Hart wants to know, when the property owner owes money on the property, who pays for that?
It's their debt, so they pay for it. So it comes out of their proceeds. When we sent out the text, well, they on a different platform though. But when we sent out the text earlier, say, can you wholesale a property if they still have a mortgage? Yes, if the numbers work. And what I mean by that is, say the seller owes, okay, so the seller owes $100,000, but the number that you need to make the deal work is 125, and they're willing to accept the 100,000 just to pay it off, which that happens and doesn't happen. But then yeah, so whenever you close on it, well, let me back up. They owe 100,000. The number you need to make the deal work is 125. So you all do a contract for 125, right? So when they close on it, the seller only gets 25,000, which is the difference between the 125 and the 100,000, because the other 100 going to who they owe as far as the mortgage. So to answer your question, but in that flip that situation around, if the number you need to work is 80,000, but they owe 100, then no, that's not going to work, because they owe more than what makes the deal work for you. So it just depends on the numbers.
All right. So sticking with Instagram for our next question, Josh Harris wants to know, do you use PropStream? What?
Oh.
Where you been? Okay. And if so, is it good for finding sellers and buyers virtually? So start first.
Well, what's this?
DealYouLater.com.
This website that I have here is my one-stop shop for a lot of different things, and PropStream is one of them. Partner with them, and partner with Batch Leads, partner with Skip Ball, a couple more outfits. So I have actually videos. What am I doing? Okay, let me back up. On my shirt, DealYouLater.com. That's how you can access PropStream, 5-day free trial. On that same site, a couple things you could do. You can watch the videos, a video showing you how to top 10 ways I like to use it. I have the text video that I put up here. I start out with showing you how to build lists through PropStream. You text the word text to this number. In that video, I show you how to build lists, to attract motivated sellers. And in this video here, you text the word cash to the number. I show you how to build a cash buyers list using PropStream. So to answer your question, yes.
All right. So the next question was from someone asking, what's better from PropStream and some of those guys? Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you like Tyler. Let me see if I can put it the way he said. Do you walk into Burger King and ask them, is McDonald's burger good? No.
Yeah.
they're going to tell you that theirs is better. So
Yeah.
as he just mentioned, we're affiliated. I use the we loosely. Affiliated with PropStream. So yeah, we're going to root for PropStream all day long. And also, PropStream also has an app that's available to you for you to use, which makes their program even more better. Yes, I said it. I said more better for you. There is a free trial if you go to dealyourlady.com that you can take advantage of and see for yourself how well it works. There you go. And for those that were asking what Deontay did for those 2 deals he had last month, he said all he did was cold calling and direct mail. That's all he did.
Boom. Oh, and speaking of that, go ahead. Go ahead.
Speaking of that, talking about direct mail.
You didn't put that banner up.
I didn't put what banner up?
It's a new banner, but there's banners in there beside the contract.
I have tons of them that I'm
It's
flipping
closer
through.
down to the bottom.
I know.
There you go.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, he said he used direct mail. He's talking about sending someone in the mail. Here's an example. This card here works, right?
Right.
If you want to learn how to use this, basically it's a picture of the owner's property. You think that'll get their attention? If you send them a postcard with a picture of the property that they own saying, I want to buy your property, yes, that works. So I don't have a card for it, but text the word mail, M-A-I-L, to the number 205-964-5243. You can see the interview I did with my man Ryan from over at REI Print. And they're the experts. They deal with investors, heavy hitters all over the country. They know what works. Trust me, they're going to spend as much time with you as is needed to help you to that direct mail game.
All right, so that pretty much answered the question that I was about to ask, and that was for Jarek. Wants to know when using, well, actually, this is an added part to that. When using postcards for marketing for your leads, is it best to use a P.O. box address for your return address?
Well, I use a UPS store address because it gives a physical address, even though it's still just a box. I prefer to go that route than a P.O. box, personally.
Okay. So EW, I see that you're trying to join us. As soon as you take down your profile picture and I can see your lovely face, make sure your mic is on and I will bring you on live with us. Thank you, EW. I see you there. Okay. So Karen S has a question, and it is, what is the best method to build a buyer's list? Is text messaging campaign the best thing right now?
For a buyer's list?
That's what she put.
No, not text messaging. The best way to build a buyer's list, well, you can actually look at transactions of actual buyers that have bought properties. In this video here, if you text the word cash to the number, I show you how to do that. You know, how to build a buyer's list. That's one of the more effective ways to do it. And then from there, you can skip trace at least the individual. Some of them will be in business entities like LLCs. You can text the word skip. In that video, I show you how to skip trace the list.
Hey, Michael. Yes, you are texting Gator. I see that you've texted a bit, and I have sent you the link that you need to click on to join us live. Click the link that I send you. Join us and ask your question. Let me see here. Link to join us live. Boom. Just sent that to you. Okay. Let's see here. Can you wholesale in the state of Kentucky?
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding. That is not associated with Kentucky banjos, but I guess so. So Anthony Henry wants to know, how difficult is it to become an affiliate of different platforms and real estate tool websites?
It just depends on the tools. Some of them are pretty much open to anyone that wants to generally send them leads. So it just depends on the tool.
Okay. Let's go over here to Instagram. So
you can hit me up. I'll tell you what I know about it. Just text me on the number.
Tokyo Swishers That sounds so cool. Tokyo switchers. Okay. I hear driving for dollars, door knocking and cold calling having boots on the ground, quote unquote, is more efficient than the other strategies.
I don't know about that, man. It just you just have different methods of generating leads. Some people that will respond to a bandit sign may not respond to a cold call. Some people that will respond to direct mail may not respond to text message, and vice versa. So, you're just going to have all those different layers to generate leads.
Mikey, I see you down in my box as well. Again, once I see your profile picture down and your actual face, I'll link you in to join us live. Pamo _ wants to know, he's in Dallas and I'm trying to get my first deal. It's a Metroplex. What advice would you have? They only want to use the TREC. So that would be the Texas Real Estate Contract, maybe.
Yeah. He said he's trying to do a Metroplex.
It says, yeah, my first deal in Dallas at Metroplex.
I don't know. It didn't matter about the contract itself. It still boils down to, is it a great deal or not?
Okay, gotcha. Makisha Foster, thank you for joining us. You said it's your first time here. Well, we thank you that you are here learning and about to be earning some money. Way to go. And Mikey is ready. Boom. Hey, Mikey.
Yo, how everybody doing?
We're doing well tonight. Where you calling from?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Miss Zhao. Okay. What's going on? What's your question?
I'm the one that just sold the house today. Wholesale the first house today.
Oh, that's
okay.
what's up. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And what you gonna do with that money?
I'm investing into another property, to keep building, keep investing. So,
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah.
Give me just a
Keep
second
working.
to take this brand down. There we go. All right. Okay. You got a question for us tonight?
All right, so I got two questions. So my first question, should I have a cash buyer? Should I have a cash buyer do an inspection before or after I put him on a contract? And I was asking because of the inspection contingency and having multiple buyers.
Well,
I didn't want one buyer to take up too much time, and I got other buyers that's eager to invest or eager to look at the property.
Also, you're asking how long should you give a buyer an inspection period?
Yeah, no, I'm asking should I? So if I have say I have 2 or 3 buyers, and one I have 2 buyers that's serious. Should I what should I do before I put one buyer on contract to to limit just one buyer wasting time when I could have I just want to see the best option to do that.
Okay. I think if I'm understanding you correctly, you're trying to say how much time you should give a buyer.
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, something like that. Because just saying, you have multiple buyers and you don't want to waste up too much time with one buyer if you have multiple buyers. If you give
well, you have to go with who you think is going to be able to close the fastest with the least resistance, mainly. Obviously, it's based on the money, but a lot of times I may choose a lower offer just because they're going to be able to close faster, right?
Okay.
So it's just going to depend, man. Some people can close faster and be say less money, and there may be a situation where you make more money because they close fast. That's easy to pick that one, but sometimes you have to make that difference between these guys may pay more, but they say they're going to take longer. So you just got to make a judgment call on it. It's just so hard to say on who to choose on that. I normally just go with the people just have the least resistance, and because I'm sure it's not going to probably be the last deal with them. Even though I may not make as much money, a lot of times I'm just going to go with the speed. And then it also depends on how soon within the deal that you have it under contract with the seller, you find buyers. If you get it under contract today and you got buyers that want it tomorrow, then it makes it a lot easier because you're normally going to have your full 30 days to work with. Not that you're going to give a buyer that long, but I'm just saying, even if you have to go with a different one after 10 or 15 days. So it just depends also on what period of your contract is left, how much time is left based on the number of buyers you have interested or a buyer.
Okay, so basically just have, a buyer, take a look at the property before you put them on contract, like the smart thing to do.
Well, sometimes they'll want to put it under contract without even seeing it or whatever. But
Okay,
that's part of the, and again, it's still going to be a judgment call. Now, that's part of the reason why I strongly encourage you to take video, take pictures, mainly video. And a lot of times that'll sell it itself. They'll still probably want to see it and, live or whatever, but they may want to lock it up so you don't have, you're not showing it to anyone else or whatever. So.
Gotcha. And my second question is, okay, so I be so I do a lot of comping and stuff like that. And I run into multifamily properties, and I just wanted to know how do you calculate the ARV on a multifamily property if there aren't any sold comps in the area?
Well, see, you can't, in most cases, you can't comp multifamily / apartment buildings like you do houses because it's based on income. Now, you're talking about a duplex or a fourplex. It's still going to be different than a house because you may not have, it's so income, let me back up. It's income driven. It's on how much income can you generate after expenses. So it's not going to be comped the same as houses. Now, it does make it a little easier if you have multiple properties as far as multifamily that are similar to yours. Yeah, they can make it a little easier, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be based on, number one, is it already producing income? The income that it's producing, can it be verified? The income that it's producing, is it at market rate or below? The condition of the property, obviously the expenses each month, the number of units, the unit mix, when was the roof last replaced, how are they heated and cooled? The overall condition of the property, is there been any recent any recent renovations? Is there delayed maintenance that needs to be done? It's just going to be just layer after layer. It's just not like doing a house or whatever. You're really basing it on what it's doing now based on the rents that you can collect or it is collected. It's just not the same as a house.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So yeah, that's what all I want to know. So I'll thank y'all again. Thank you again for your wisdom and knowledge. I've been doing this about 2.5 months now. I done looked at about, I say, like 10 or 11 properties before I got my first deal. So if y'all listening and y'all sitting back, you may get a little discouraged or whatever, or you may make a lot of calls and get a lot of no's. But like I said, the grass is greener on the other side, and don't give up, keep going, because I done made about at least 500 to 600 calls before I got my first yes. So keep going. And Flip man, he doing his thing. I like to appreciate you and your team. So y'all keep doing y'all thing for sure.
I appreciate it, my man. Appreciate
it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mikey. Have a good night.
All right, y'all too.
Yeah, I don't know if you all could hear what he said, but he said 500 or 600 calls before he got his first deal. You got to put the work in, but it's worth it. That's an understatement.
Worth it. Absolutely. Yes. Love that story, Mike. When you get that next check, make sure you come back and tell us. And if the bigger and bigger it gets, we can put you on live. If you want to tell us how easy or how it's not necessarily easy, but how consistent you were in making that happen. Mia Brown has a question. See, it says question. And she wants to know, is it a possibility you can go over the compliance on text messages? Or is that maybe?
Well, I actually have a video where it's a recent video also as far as the compliance on text messaging. So just go to YouTube and do a search for Flipman text message compliance, and that video should pull up.
Okay. Well, there you
But that's part of the reason why, as I said, there's a proper way of doing it. Not only in that video, we discussed the compliance part of it, but if you text the word text to this, to the number, the 205-964-5243, then the video will show you how to build a list and how to actually properly put a campaign together.
So the gentleman that was in Dallas, and we were saying that he had a Metroplex, they're saying that's what you call Dallas. Dallas is a Metroplex.
Okay.
So I don't know what that means
that
per se, but I guess just
anybody, what's the score in the game with the Giants and Redskins?
Oh,
so if anyone care to share that,
here we go.
For me.
Here we go. So Leah Monette wants to know, what is the best way to get over your fear of cold calling? And Riel_Cal responded immediately behind her and said, practice.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Now you're talking to someone that feels your pain deeply, right? If I had to start this business, start attempting to pursue this business, and cold calling was my only method of doing it, I probably would have never done the first deal.
7-0, Giants way.
7-0. Okay. So whatever that means. So, but because I know what I know now, right now, you may be able to overcome it and still be good at it or whatever. I'm just talking about me. So what I would do now different than that, if that was the only option based on what I know now, what I would do is partner with someone, right? We all know someone that's got the gift of gab or not afraid to talk to people, whatever, right? And they may not have any business aspirations until you present the opportunity to them. So now they can leverage that ability to run their mouth into some money. And you all just partner. You're the brains behind the operation, and they're the sales force as far as that form of lead generation. That's what I would recommend that you do. Obviously, they have to be interested in it, but hopefully you know enough people that you'll find one that's interested in making some money, this type of money or whatever. So that's what I do. Now you can hire a VA or whatever and that stuff, but I would recommend just partnering with someone if you're going to use that form of marketing. But the great thing about it, that's not your only option. Now, this is about the third time I put this up. This is actually a better option as far as response rate. If you text to the number 205-964-5243, that video explained, because the same list that you'll download for cold calling, you can use that same list for text messaging.
All right, Leah, hopefully you heard that, and hopefully that helps you
Ain't
out.
got no questions on TikTok?
No.
Is it on?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, TikTok, y'all tripping. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So Leah, hopefully answer that question. And Tokyo Swishers had a good point for Leah as well. They suggested make sure you record the calls. So many calls I flunked because I forgot we were just on the phone call about. So record all cold calls. So yeah, and then maybe you can go back and listen to yourself and see where you needed to add something or not. Y'all been telling me that little thing right there was in y'all's way the whole time. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you see it now? They see it now.
No, I can see it.
You moved it.
No, I didn't.
Oh. Don't worry about it.
I'm not gonna worry about it now. It's too late now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I see all of this.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So someone else wants to join us live. And 3, 2, 1. It's bam. It's Lisa. What's going on, Lisa? How you doing? Oh, greetings. Hold on. He over here tearing up stuff.
Hold on a second, Lisa. Hold on a second. I just jacked this up on Instagram. Go ahead with the question. I'll get you.
Well, you got a little bit of a lag, Lisa. I see you, but I don't. I can't really hear you. Where are you calling from?
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you better now. Where are you calling from?
Decatur, Georgia.
Decatur. Okay. What's going on?
Decatur, Georgia. Where's Glenn? Okay, so most of my questions have already been answered previously. So I just want to put out there one thing that I did find helpful for me as far as finding out who owners of properties are. Right now, what I'm looking at are properties that are pretty much abandoned in my immediate area and in a couple of cities out. And what I remembered is, if I have a library card, if anyone has a library card, go onto the website of your library, look for the reference tab, because they do have references online as well. Pull that down, and there's one called, it used to be called Reference USA. In there, you can find business names and find contacts if they're listed. I used to use that with a chiropractor when we cold called ago. to come up business for the chiropractor's office. So if you have a library card, use that. That's a cheap, easy way of finding the people who actually own these properties that you want to call and put a contract on to buy.
Ooh, look at you using resources, free resources.
I don't know if you all heard all that.
I didn't get that. What is it?
No, I heard. No. I heard it. I heard it.
So
So
I figured, why not let everybody know? Because it just okay, cool, yeah. That's one way. And also, what I did today was I wrote just kind of script, so I'm not fumbling when I do call these and ask them about the properties. So I put together kind of little scripts, hello, how are you? How long have you had this particular property? How did it get in disrepair? Which is some things that I learned from a couple of other Flipman's videos and things. So I put all that together today as well. And I've made a call, but I haven't gotten a call back. So I'm gonna make another call on tomorrow and, make sure that I get in touch with these people so we can get them under contract.
all right. Well, that's good, Ms. Lisa. What she mentioned earlier, guys, I'll reiterate. If you didn't have another question, Ms. Lisa, thank you for joining us from Decatur. There was a little bit of lag there. We can't wait to have you back once you get these deals under contract. So I'm gonna let you go. Maybe if you need to come back and ask something else, reset your device because it's just lagging a little bit. Thank you. But what she mentioned was if you have the library card and you're utilizing the resources that are made free to you from the public library resources, there is a tab on one of their homepages, one of their reference homepages, and it's called US Reference. And it's a link to, I guess, ultimately find people, but a little bit more detailed than like your people.com and stuff like that. So as long as the property is registered in some form, I guess, with the government with the name, that lists the contact information for them.
At the library?
At the library, but most libraries you can tap into from home. But you know how you have to put your library information. It's for people who have library cards to use the resources there. But it's under references and it's called just U.S. References.
But what if they don't have a library card? It won't be there?
Well, you just probably won't have access to it.
No, I'm talking about the owner of the property. So all owners of properties are in the library?
It sounds as if she was saying more if the property is just I don't want to say uploaded or registered in the
At the library?
Not registered at the library, just registered more so like at the assessor's office or whatever.
Well, all of them are.
But you have to pay for like people.com and stuff like that. This service is like free. It's just there. I'm just gonna look it up and see.
Well, go ahead to the next question.
Well, you know what? There was somebody else that wanted to get on live and they disappeared. So sorry. Let's see here. Stop. So Lee Mobile Notary. I don't see your question. You commented on the PropStream, but I never actually saw an actual question from you on there. So just let me know what it is that you needed and I'll make sure I answer that. That was from Instagram. Oh, TikTok is now coming through with something. User 148-316-529-445-213 wants to know, is right now a bad time to buy?
If you're trying to buy for your own personal use to live in, technically, yeah. If you go the traditional route of finding a house, right? Through a real estate agent, blah, blah, blah. Normally, the houses are somewhat overpriced in a lot of markets or whatever. You have some patience. Well, let me put it like this. If you pursue wholesaling and as far as your marketing efforts to find a deal, you'll probably run into a property that you would buy to live in. Or whatever, you have the resources to do that. So, but going the traditional route, in most cases, you're going to somewhat overpay.
All right. So Mr. _I_am says, I've been researching wholesaling real estate and I just joined Propelia and I'm still confused. Well, guess what? You're in a good spot right now with us listening, learning. You have access to all the videos that Ty has posted on YouTube. This content on Thursdays and
Yeah, Propeller is good. It's free, but it's limited. Text the word vacant to this number here, and you'll see a better option there. The number you want to text that to, the word vacant, is to this number here.
Okay. So Mr. P wants to know, how do I get my EMD back once I secure a cash buyer who submits a higher
Well,
EMD?
whenever you close on it, your MD is just basically credited back to you. Once the deal closes.
Okay. Let's see here. Teacher LaShawn says, hey, y'all, our dilemma now is the 70%. What market should we go higher or lower than the 70%?
Well, it's just a general number for the most part. And you can use my deal calculator. Just text the letters DC for deal calculator. You can use my free calculator on dealulator.com on my site. See it here on my chest, on my short. And but that 70% number, for most part, it works in most markets. When you're taking in consideration repair, some people do it without taking in consideration repair. So they'll do a lesser number. But when you take it in consideration repairs, 70% works. Now, if you're in Southern California, the Bay Area, Seattle, New York City, where else? Maybe some parts of South Florida. I don't know, maybe one or two more markets, maybe Boston or whatever. You could go up to probably 75%, maybe 80, depending on the market. So, but for the rest of the country, that 70 works. And again, you can use that free deal calculator to help you. And then understand that the formula itself, the calculator itself, what it really does for you, outside of determining if you have a potential opportunity or not, it really helps you to prevent wasting time on stuff that has no chance of being a deal.
All right, so let's see here. REI Allen wants to know, what's a hedge fund? I heard that on a podcast, and is it relevant on real estate? So Googling hedge fund.
Oh, you already did.
A hedge
Good.
fund is an investment vehicle that caters to high net worth individuals, institutional investors, and other accredited investors. The term hedge is used because these funds historically focused on hedging risk by simultaneously buying and shorting assets in a long short equity strategy.
So basically, it's a group of people with a lot of money, put it into a pool, and they try to find, for the real estate game, they try to find attractive deals. Now, sometimes they'll spend more than just your normal local cash buyer will, because if they could get a 8 to 10% return, what's that? Oh, if they can get an 8 to 10% return, it works. It works for them. Now, some of them want more than that, but that's basically it. People with a lot of money, they put it in one pot. Somebody manages, or a team manages that money to buy it. They just try to find opportunities. Sometimes it's, they go beyond, well, a lot of times they go beyond real estate. Sometimes in the stock market, it may be, it could be literally anything. It could be literally anything. They may just invest in EVs, electric vehicles, or whatever. So it can be literally anything. But normally it's people with an immense amount of money putting it all together to try to leverage it.
Okay. Yeah, there was a little quick interruption there. I hope you heard that, guys. And if not, you can always rewind back to about 53 minutes into the show, and that you get that answer there. They say they lost us and had no sound. Can you still not hear? You guys?
They can't hear on
Instagram?
On Instagram.
Let me know. Yeah, it's just when the phone rung.
Oh, okay.
It muted them
Yeah,
out.
it's moving. The thing is moving. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So REI, hopefully that answered your question there. Deborah, I get it, but we do have the cards and we do have banners flashing across the screen, but we do say the numbers and the letters that you need to text to over and over again. So I think even our visually challenged individuals and those in listening mode should be able to get it.
I need to actually say it. I don't say it.
No, we say it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the number is the chant, the
Well,
video.
well,
We've said the number
uh,
quite a few times. So yeah,
yeah.
for any of those though, thank you, Deborah. Again, it's 205-964-5243. And I'm gonna give you a rundown of the words that you can text to that. It's gonna be contract, it's gonna be 50-50. You can text cash, you can text CRM as in Cat, Roger, Mary. You can text close, you can text vacant, group, probate, ARV, merch, gear, DC, whiteboard. You can actually
Vacant?
text the
Oh, yeah,
word whiteboard and we'll send you all of the information that's on the whiteboard here.
Whiteboard is one word.
There's one word. And again, that number is 205-964-5243. Hopefully that will help some of you guys out. Yeah, they say still can't hear.
On Instagram?
Yeah, it's been ever since that call. No, what happened?
Well,
When we were faddling with
well,
it.
yeah, it was moving. So let me see. Hold on.
Okay, so while we try to fix that for you guys, let me look over to TikTok because y'all guys started chiming in a little. There you go. Kimberly text whiteboard. There you go. Let's see. Mr. I've been, yeah, we already got that. What is a MD? Okay, so I'm sorry if I wasn't clear, Mr. It's an EMD, earnest money deposit. EMD. That's what I was saying. That's the amount that you give to the seller to basically secure your contract. And then the buyer will also give you an EMD to secure the contract with you. It makes it legal and binding. It's an exchange of money, again, to make that contract legal and binding. The amount that you give for the EMD is going to vary deal from deal, person to person, may or may not even ever exchange hands. So that's just how that goes there. Let's see here. So Deontay has a property that can be zoned commercial or residential. It comes with 7 acres and it's right beside a country club. The seller wants around 750. I got it down to 600 and I've tried to run comps. I couldn't find anything when I ran comps. So do you feel like 600 would be a good number to lock it in for? Or you really wouldn't want to do that without having those additional numbers?
Yeah, I wouldn't know, man. What's your end game? So many other factors go into that. But the main thing is the end game or whatever. So what happened with it?
It was muted the whole time. Like the mute button is literally.
What, muted on the
Yes.
phone?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Get some in your hand.
Yeah.
All right, Instagram. I know you guys can hear us. I am so sorry. Chocolate Walker, Mr. Track, Lisa Brooks, and all of you guys. REI Allen, we did answer your question. Go back about 53 minutes into the show in regards to dang, what was your question about? I forgot. About the hedge fund. That's what it was about, the hedge fund. And Lisa Brooke wants to know, what is the usual earnest money amount to use with the seller to secure the contract? We just mentioned that to Mr. IM. We're talking about that earnest money deposit again. And what she's asking is, how much do you give to the seller to make that contract legal and binding? And again, Lisa, as I just mentioned, I know you missed it, that's going to vary from person to person, contract to contract. We like to say, $10. That typically is good enough. It's
10
a truly
100 is
10 to
normally
100.
good.
Yeah. If that's truly a motivated seller, just be mindful, guys. When you start having sellers saying, "Hey, I need $1,000 for a deposit," unless it's how much money should this deal be worth for them to be asking for $1,000?
I don't know. They can be all over the board. Sometimes they'll still be motivated and want that or whatever. It's rare that they match up like that. Normally, most motivated sellers don't even care about that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You still want to do it
Mm-hmm.
just for exit strategies, just for it if you can't close on it. But generally, $10 to $100 work. I normally just put $100 on the contract. So.
Okay. So we were talking earlier about what that library tab, who they have to be registered with. And you're like, who do they have to be registered with? So they have to be registered with the Chamber of Commerce.
Who, the seller?
For the city.
The seller?
Like, I guess whoever does their property work or whatever. who's ever posted their property at some point, who has ever done anything with their property in the past?
I ain't understanding.
Okay. Let me just finish
Not
doing my
clicking for your
research.
boy.
Not with
Hey, so y'all had to break it down. You had to get it a little lower.
Okay.
Go a little lower for me.
You know
For me to
what?
understand it.
Okay.
Nick, you get it? You got it? Oh,
I'm still gonna do my research. Okay, Mr. P wants to know, should I bump up my estimated repair costs 20% to cover the hidden issues and carrying costs?
your estimated repair cost? No. You don't. That's for a wholesaler. No, that's not your concern. You just do your numbers based on those general numbers I give. You can bump it up a little bit if you want. But for the most part, that works, man. You know, maybe the cost of materials are a little higher now. You could go from $25 to $30 per square foot, and from 40 to maybe 50 or even 60. But other than that, you know.
Okay, guys, I'm not sure who or how those little posts are coming up in the chat, but I am blocking that user as they go through. Not sure what that is. Okay.
SPA.
Monique says, I've inherited a house which is now in probate. Who determines how much the house should sell for?
Well, the condition of the property will matter. What other houses are selling for, they call that ARV.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not sure how to, that's, and what it's short for is ARV is short for after repair value, and it's basically what was the house appraised for in excellent condition. Now, in your position as an actual property owner, depending on the condition, if you determine ARV, you could text these letters to the number 205-964-5243. When you text the number there, text that letter, I explain to you how to come up with that number. So at that point, what's her name?
Monique.
Miss Monique, it's going to be up to you on what you think you can sell it for. Obviously, you want to get as much as you possibly can, but, you know, sounds like you got a big payday coming your way.
Okay. Big Boy wants to know, what's the best way you recommend to wholesale another wholesaler's deal?
We'll have a cash buyer ready to go.
Okay.
That's it. Gotta have cash buyers ready to pull the trigger. Serious buyers. I don't know. That was a broad question. I don't know if that answer was direct enough or to the point.
All right. 25. What is going on? She's doing something weird. It's like the arrow is like gigantic. I don't know. 25 still alive. So wants to know, Flipman, your thoughts on the New York market. I'm from here. I've made over 100 cold calls and I have fun doing it, but nothing yet, but not worried. As well, do I need multiple LLCs working in different states? So first question, what is your thought on the New York market?
I personally never done anything there, but I know it's going down there like it's probably not going down anywhere else. It's an unlimited amount of opportunity that you're dealing with millions of
Individuals, people. Mm-hmm.
Which means I'm assuming hundreds of thousands of owners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means going to be a lot of opportunity there. So you're taking action, doing the cold calling. 100 is a start. But like my man Mike said earlier, it took him 500 to 600 calls to get a deal. So you're on your way. So hopefully you'll get a deal on call number 101.
All right. And what about having multiple LLCs working in different states? So you need multiple LLCs, or put one LLC cross state lines?
No, you're good with one because they're going to send the money back to your state. So.
Okay. Thank you for answering that. So Big Boy added on to, how do you wholesale another wholesaler's deal? And your response was, have a buyer ready to go. But he was asking, so do you JV or another purchase and sell agreement?
Why we like to use either purchase and sales agreement or option contract. We don't use quote unquote JV agreements. You want something that's going to stand up in court if needed, which I normally ain't going to take nothing that far, but I'm just saying you want to be in the chain of the transaction that ensures you get paid, and that's a purchase and sales agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So we're hour in. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
Hey guys, what's the current score on the Giants game?
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No.
I know. Okay. Wait a minute. I just got what you meant. Just wait. Answer this for me though. This is from Frank Sasson. I have a hot market where there's a lot of purchases being made, but none of them are vacant owners. How do you coordinate with buyers without them talking to the seller when the owner lives there? There are many ways to find buyers, but which way have you found to be the most effective? So that was kind of two questions there.
Well, for the first part of it, if it's a situation where the seller and the buyer have to meet before you close, you just have to deal with it. You have to just make sure the buyer understands their role or whatever. So, don't discuss price with the seller. It comes through me. I'm wholesaling this. You want to continue to do business with me on more deals in the future. You can ask the seller about the history of the property, blah, blah, blah. But price negotiation comes through me. You have to be clear on that. Now, also, you want to make sure, as I said, photos and definitely video upload to YouTube. Now you can text or email that link around to potential cash buyers. That keeps down some of the foot traffic on people that are interested and not interested. As far as the best way to build a cash buyers list, well, technically, like I say, this is one of the more effective ways right here is just text the word cash, and I'll show you how to build one online or whatever to the number 205-964-5243. Well, another way to build a cash buyers list is having great deals. You can only sell a property to one person. If you market the deal, 20 people may call you about it. You can only sell it to one. Those other 19, you keep their information for future deals. That's probably the best way to build a cash buyers list, is just having great deals consistently and marketing those deals.
Okay. Now, would you say, we can't say it enough, is that you don't offer a price until you have looked at the property?
Well, you don't technically have to look at it or whatever. Sometimes if you do your online research on it, depending on how cheap it's going or whatever, it could go so low that, hey,
it doesn't matter what it looks like.
It don't matter. You can always, you're going to have your due diligence period in the contract. If it's, on put it like this, over the phone, well, I'm not even going to go out and look at a property. Let's back up. I'm not normally even going to go out and look at a property unless the numbers work over the phone.
Okay.
It's rare.
7-7.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha. All right, guys, we've given you the hour plus some. Thank you for joining us this Thursday. Oh my gosh. We ain't calling. How did they do that? Okay. Thank you for joining us this Thursday. We will be back next Thursday, Lord willing, and hopefully the beautiful Miss Renikia will join us then as well. Again, Ty, still looking for the side of the highway?
Yeah, I hate I didn't pull up the video from before. It's not up or whatever. So, but yeah, still looking for the 4+ acres next to a truck stop off a major freeway. Hopefully in a decent sized city. If you send those over to, you can text me on the number the 205-964-5243. I think last week's video near the end. Last week's show, 2 weeks ago, because we went on last week. 2 weeks ago, I showed you in that video what I was looking for. So if you go back to show number 196, I'll show you what I was looking for near the end.
All right, guys, so go back and watch that video. Go back and watch this video as well. And until then, we'll see you on the flip side next week. We're going to watch some football. Don't know who we're going for, but it's on TV.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me, and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. Now you know. 205-964-5243. Now you know.